Hi, I work with some moms who are raising teenage girls. And with that, what we're doing is better understanding what safe relationship looks like, as well as if there's any like major red flags. So I just wanted to go off a list of signs of an abusive relationship that I have. I have this little pamphlet from a local domestic violence crisis center. So, isolating you by preventing or discouraging contact with friends and family is number one. Number two, controlling what you wear, whether or not you work outside the home, and who you talk to. Number three, threatening to take away children. Number four, threatening children or pets. Five, denying or minimizing the abuse. Six, disrespecting boundaries you attempt to maintain. Seven, destroying possessions. Eight, threatening physical violence or is physically violent. Nine, restricting access to money or providing like an allowance. 10, gaslighting behavior that causes you to question your experience or perception. I think these are great, right? Thinking about like if you've ever been in a DV relationship before, I have. And if I knew, right, back then when I was 17, the controlling over what I wear, how I do my hair, different types of clothes that I would wear or needing to wear to make him feel better or something, I can't psychoanalyze that. But what I can do is talk more about these little tiny subtle signs that can become a bigger issue. And I know from experience that it started with suggestions on how I do my hair, suggestions on what to wear for certain things, as if I was incapable of doing that myself. Gaslighting, I mean, that I didn't know that word back then, but now I do, and really trying to minimize those behaviors around controlling me. And as a people pleaser, I wanted him to want to be around me. I wanted him to want his family to be around me. So I tried to do everything that was suggested. And then later on, it was expected. Yeah, I guess for me, thinking more about our young generation and being able to understand these are signs of really that beginning that then can lead to something way worse and way scary especially when it comes to like financials. Like if you are with somebody and they financially support you, or if you know someone who is in a domestic violence relationship, or you have some concerns about maybe you might be in one, or you might know somebody who is, just leave a comment below, whether it's questions, concerns, be doing. It's so interesting, and it's so subtle at the beginning, right? Of course it's subtle at the beginning. If it wasn't subtle at the beginning, then we probably wouldn't be in these relationships, right? One would hope. That's what we assume. That's what I assumed, I should say. And I know when children are involved, that is a whole other thing, especially if somebody is threatening to take your children away from you because they have this power of finances, or depending on who they are in the community. But just know that and this isn't legal advice, but just because somebody is earning the money in the household doesn't equal you then not being able to take care of your children, because there is support in the community. And if there isn't in your community, then in other communities, also thinking more about child support. What is great about crisis centers for families, for women, children, when it comes to domestic violence, the point of them is to get you safe. And then it's to help you have a safe place to be and live, to then get back on your feet. The one locally here has a lot of different counseling opportunities, support groups, as well as different types of social workers who help you when it comes to either finding housing, finding jobs, finding transportation. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. And it's easy for me to say, right? Like, I feel like that's what a lot of everyone in the back of their mind, it's like, oh, it's easy for you to say because you're not in it, or you didn't have children, or you weren't married, there wasn't a lot of legal things binding you. But what I can say is I know how emotionally hard it is to get out. The reason why I got out, the only reason, was because he went to jail one night and I legally wasn't able to talk to him. Then there was a restraining order that was put on by the state. This was a state against him. And then I was told that, because the day that I went in for my deposition, he showed up with his lawyer, and I told the victim services, I said, I can't do this. I'm not going to do this I can't have him sitting across the table from me as I talk about what happened that night. And they said, if you leave now, then you can get in trouble for falsifying information or something like that. And I was so angry with him. I said, fine, fuck it. Walked right in. How old was I? At the time, I must have been 19. Is that right? 19? 20. This would have been 2008? 2007? Ew. Anyways. And I sat across from him and I told them from the beginning all the way to the end of what happened. And his lawyer, had the audacity to say to me, but didn't you communicate with him during the time that you were not allowed to communicate? And I looked that lawyer in the eye and I said, yes, he communicated with me. He said that his lawyer, you, told him to get in touch with me to make this go away. I do want you to know, though, that I am not a lawyer at all. I'm currently practicing therapy as an unlicensed therapist right now, working towards my licensure. But there is support out there. You're not alone in any of this. There is so much support out there. And the first step to change is awareness and understanding that there might need to be some change that happens, and that's beautiful. You are loved, you matter, and you deserve to be safe.